Hey, Blind Impact listeners, this week we're going to be doing part two of last week's episode, I Couldn't Protect Her, with guest Tomas. Definitely would suggest that if you have not listened to last week's episode, you may want to go back and listen to that first before you begin part two. Thank you guys. Have you ever been so impacted by something that it leaves no doubt as to what helped shape you? Welcome to The Blind Impact, a podcast where we talk about and uncover those moments. Some funny, some sad, but it's not always tragic. I hope you'll stay for a while.
My son is my greatest creation, and I tell him that. Like he gives me purpose to wake up and fill my lungs with air and try to do something productive so I can bring it back to him. Okay, if I see this, I want to get this for you. I want to do this for you.
Mm-hmm.
These things that I know that the knowledge has been graced upon me, I want to give that to you. I want to share all of these jewels that I have with you, son, because I can't take them with me.
Mm-mm. No. Is he at the age now to where he can understand that for the most part?
I think he's starting to grasp it. I
Okay.
think, and he uh he's starting to develop a mouth on him, you know. And a lot of times, I just let it flow
Yeah.
because I don't want to handcuff him. I don't want to make him feel like, well, I can't say this, I can't say that, because that's how I used to feel.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pleasure to go and do things with him.
Yeah.
Because when I couldn't, take him with me, like, come on, let's go take a ride and, come with me to the store. Let's go over here and see if we find something that we like. I mean, to have a son to do that with, I mean, it's a blessing.
Absolutely, it is. Do you feel like the way you grew up, do you find that it's made parenting easier or difficult or more difficult?
And that's a good question. Um, because me and my wife, I mean, this has been a journey for the both of us.
Mhm.
And she was raised one way and I was raised another way.
Yeah.
And we try to mesh those things to where it works best for the both of us and for him. Sometimes, you know, we use the stories of other parents as examples.
Mhm.
If we like that idea collectively, then we'll try to implement that.
Right.
Um, I mean, we share the good and the bad. I can't believe that such and such did this, or they do that with their child. And I mean, it's stories will come from everywhere. Anybody that is a parent, I mean, they'll tell you about stuff that they kid does. It could be any kind of random story, and people will apply those things the way that they choose to.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's the things that I know that I would never put my hands on a woman, and I'm proud to say that I never have. I've never, put my hands on my wife
Mhm.
or any female that I've been involved with, and I tell my son, don't you ever, don't
Mhm.
you ever. I don't care what she do. Don't you ever put your hands on her. I said, if a girl touch you, if you got another female friend, tell that girl to whoop her.
Yeah.
But don't you put your hands on that girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Jeez. That's I mean, that's domestic violence is it's it's hard in any case, right? And it's so much harder if it's your parent and your mom and you're the boy
and being like you said, like the mayor of the house, and obviously from very early on. Uh, I just I hate that that was something that you had to experience, but I know that you have definitely overcome it in your own ways, and probably still are trying to work through it, and able to understand a little bit better why you feel how you're feeling. But do you think that if there's anything about that you could have changed, or anything you could have said to your mom during all of that?
I know the one thing that I guess pretty much always stood out was I wish I would have told her, let's not go back the
Mm,
first time. And in a way, I think before we went back, I was like, why are we going back?
mm-hmm.
And then it was, I don't know. I think it felt good for me to be back in my own bed, and that was the only thing that I wanted, was to be in my own bed. And that was selfish of me to feel like that. And I wish I would have told her, we don't need to go back to that. I know that we didn't have my youngest sister, but I think that that would have worked itself out with time.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
I wish I would have. I I you know I wish that I wouldn't have let them tackle me that morning when I was going to stab him,
Wow.
because like this dude was the scum of the earth in my eyes.
Sure.
And my mom recognized the amount of hate that I had within me regarding him. I
Mm.
mean, and I used to tell her, don't bring him up around me. If he gonna be here, don't have me over here. Don't try to play those type of games where, oh, get us together and then we'll work it out. Don't do that. It's not gonna end well. I'm not gonna allow it to end well. I would tell her, don't treat me like I'm some type of lab rat and you just want to see how it's gonna go. You know how it's gonna go. So don't try that. Don't play.
So
And
I'm sorry. Go ahead, please.
she, man, I remember she was like beyond hot. That
Okay.
I wouldn't, I wouldn't let it go. I wouldn't forgive him. I told her, straightforward. I said, you keep wanting him to be around. If he not around, if I ain't seeing him, if I'm not hearing his name, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
The moment that you try to put him into my space, nah, I don't want no parts of that.
I mean, you're not wrong for thinking that. But so after y'all like got out of the shelter and you went back to the house with this man, and you wanted to harm him, or worse, then your mom, you got grown, went to school, and your mom was still with this man.
No, no, no. They was separated. They never
Okay.
got back together,
Okay.
but she wanted him to be involved with my sister. Like, she was going up through middle school and high school and stuff, and
Okay.
admittedly, my mom needed help. I was in college,
Sure.
so she was trying to help me the best that she could
Mm-hmm.
when I did need something.
Right.
But it was like I wasn't physically at home anymore.
Mm.
So I guess, I don't know. She just felt that need to have somebody that she knew that he had to be involved, I guess, or
Yeah.
was obligated to involve.
Mm-hmm.
And it was up to him whether or not he was, because she would let my sister know, well, your dad is supposed to whatever.
Mm.
I don't know if he is or not. And my sister, she don't. I guess she don't really fool with him no more as of late.
Okay.
But she'll tell me straightforward. I give him chances. I give him chances. But I said, man, I don't even know why y'all keep trying. Like it's pointless. It's like banging your head up against the wall. Like, don't you know you'll get a concussion from that? Just
Yeah.
stop.
Yeah. Especially this many years later. Like, I mean, the spots just don't change like that.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
But when I hear of the misfortune that he's going through,
Hmm.
I just shrug my shoulders and be like, well, oh well. I don't care. If he hit the lotto, I wouldn't care. But he's made attempts to like uh have common ground with me, I guess.
Okay.
Since I had my son, he'll he sent money for Christmas and stuff like that. And he'll send it through my mom and she'll hand it to me. I'll be like, "What's this?" No, that's from
Mm-mm.
Glenn. And I look at her like, what he sending me? What he giving me something for? But it'll be some money and Merry Christmas and this is for your family, blah blah blah. Oh well, tell him I appreciate it. And I leave it at that. Like that's not gonna get a phone call out of me.
No.
Like I know that that's how sick people like that think.
Yeah.
They want to use whatever they think will draw you in
Hmm.
to do that and manipulate you. I said, nah, you ain't finna manipulate. I don't want to hear no words.
Wow. It's it's always those people that just hang around, just never go anywhere.
Yeah.
It's so hard to understand it. I don't.
I mean, it's a matter of, I guess, the way that you were raised
Yeah.
and whether or not you want to take control of your own life and you know I guess write your own story.
Right. Yeah. Do you feel like your mom at this point, well, since the separation and those experiences, has she began to write her own story?
I think she's tried to. Like my mom, she she started to like dabble in many different things, and I think that that's something that I probably got from her.
Okay.
She used to do Mary Kay, Tupperware. She did taxes. She's done so many different things, and it's fine. Do the things that interest you.
Hmm.
Um, in my case, like I've had several different jobs that I guess you have to have some type of mental capacity to do. Like
Mm.
I guess a dummy. I've never wanted a dummy job that
Hmm.
any dumb person could do because I feel like I'm smarter than that.
Right.
And I guess I find the challenge in whatever it is that I do, and I try to make it easy.
Hmm.
If I see somebody that's good at doing something or is telling me about something, and oh, okay, well, hmm, I can do that. And I study, I pay attention, I learn by looking. If you tell me as you're going, show me what you're doing, what it does, I pick it up in a week or two, and that's
Yeah.
been with everything that I've ever done. And I guess it's a adaptive quality. And I
Hmm.
try to tell my son, man, hey, don't just pigeonhole yourself with focusing on one thing. If you see something else, like challenge yourself.
Yeah. That's definitely some valuable advice for sure. And you learned it at a pretty high cost, but you learned it and you've stuck with it, which is amazing. You know,
I
absolutely.
mean, I didn't want to let my mama down. I didn't want her to feel like um, I guess I didn't want to be perceived as a statistic,
Mhm.
and that was the point where I was headed down that path. And I mean, my mama was there for me when all them homeboys and people that you hang out with on the daily ain't there. That should tell you everything that you need to know about what really matters.
It certainly should.
And my wife is, man, that's that's the biggest blessing that I could pop next to my son. My two biggest blessings,
Oh wow.
because I mean, she fooled me in a time where I was just hustling day to day, just trying to get by, just didn't have no job, and she saw something in me, and it was a matter of it was a while. We dated for a while before we got married. We'll
Mhm.
be 7 years next month.
Wow.
So it's I was I was proud to give her my last name,
Oh, I bet.
and she's something that I'll never walk away from.
Oh.
And that's one of the things that experience has taught me. I'll never put her through what my sister's dad put my mom through, and I never put my son through what I had to experience.
Right.
So like I want to in every aspect be the the greatest man in both of their lives. Oh, it's a work in progress. I mean, I'm still I ain't perfect by any means.
I'm sure. No.
I try to be more mindful of the people that I care about.
Mhm.
Try to commit more selfless acts, and,
Wow.
and I don't know. I just want to leave a legacy that's admirable.
Mhm.
I mean,
Yes.
I'm trying to raise a a kid in a sport that he's taking interest in that I never played before, and like that's reignited my fire. Like it got me into coaching. I never coached. I didn't want to coach, but I've been training him and coaching him in soccer, coaching,
Oh.
assistant coaching his team. So I'm trying to help these other young men, and I see these dads come and drop their kids off at practice and leave.
Mm.
And I I mean, I don't know what else you got going on, but I know before I was coaching and I bring my son, I'm staying,
Mhm.
still involved. I'm yelling from the sideline, "Hey man, pay attention.
Right.
You're gonna learn a whole lot more with your ears than your mouth."
Yeah. Absolutely.
But I mean, he's a great kid. He's attentive. He's caring. I mean,
Oh, that's so awesome.
yeah.
Wow, that's so awesome. I bet. Do you think that had you not experienced what you did, do you feel like your outlook and the things that you're striving towards then and now would be the same?
No,
Yeah.
it just like the people on Instagram or Twitter that comment on the things that gets publicized
Mhm.
and bring it into question and say that she's lying and she just wants some money. Um, I would probably think that same way because
Yeah.
that stuff that I say this as far as the movies that show domestic abuse and how they portray that,
Mhm.
those stories come from somewhere.
Absolutely.
Like all of it ain't made up. Some of it may be exaggerated a little
Mhm.
bit, but a lot of it is someone's experience.
Yes, sir.
And some of that stuff that we've seen, even with the Diddy situation, everybody was putting it into question until they saw that whole elevator and highway, how he was wailing on her.
Yes, that was so sickening.
And to to see a man wailing on a woman, because that's a celebrity doing it.
Hmm.
Like it happens out in the streets all the time. It happens in grocery stores. It's anywhere, gas station. Dude get mad, try to holler at a female. She don't want to holler at you. Walk off, don't pay you no mind. Got something to say, she'll say something back, and then that's where it escalates. Then he's swinging on her. She better accept me, or I'm gonna swing. And it's dudes that think like that, like can't accept rejection.
Yeah, a lot of Jeffrey Dahmers out there like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, and you never know, a dude would have triggered somebody into just flipping out.
Right.
And yeah, hey, I'm I have my moments where I get pissed off, but there's always that voice in your head that's telling you, man, don't do that.
Hmm.
Slow down. Because a lot of times with myself, I'll have that voice. I make calculated decisions. I'll pop off. I'll say what I need to say to get that steam out. Because yeah, I get like a. My sister says I'm like a teapot,
Uh-oh.
and I'll be boiling. It boils and boils and boils until it starts to steam and whistle. And she said, "That's me." And that was like the perfect analogy because I said, "Yeah, you're right. That's good. I like that." And she laughed at me. She said, "That's so crazy that you would just accept that description of you." But the thing about it is, a lot of people try to make you feel bad for being angry, and
Mm.
that's it. Really ain't fair. Like, why do I have to contain my anger? If you do something to make me mad, why do I have to sit back and act like I ain't mad?
Hmm.
Or it like it don't bother me.
Yeah. I mean, that's not human, right? It's not a
And
natural
it's not
thing.
healthy. It's
It's
not
not.
human and it's not healthy.
No, sir.
So
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the one thing that I inherited from that whole situation is the anger.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to punch walls, punch holes in doors. I broke my hand, broke my right hand twice, my left hand once. I mean, it's when I when I do it, that's when I had like, damn, why did I? Man, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Man, I gotta quit doing that crap.
Yeah. I mean,
Punched a mirror and I almost severed the tendon in my. They thought they was gonna have to cut my finger off,
yeah.
and
I,
I didn't even hit it hard. I just, little love tapping. It shattered and I blood everywhere. So I was like, oh
yeah. I can say that it's you are gonna have those natural emotions, right? And anger is something that we all have within us. Some people just have the better abilities to control it. And I think you probably I feel like I'm right in saying that you've learned to control it well enough, but while still expressing it. But I can also say that the anger that you felt as a child and now is justified, right?
yeah,
Very much so. But I just think we have to figure out better ways to be able to feel the anger and not let it take away from who we are
yeah,
either. You know, and I'm glad that the people that your therapists that you were talking to, I'm glad that they were able to kind of help to shed some light on some of that for you, so that way you can understand it a little bit better and grow from it. So that way, like your son isn't having to feel like he has to be angry too, you know. And I please, I'm not. I'm not saying that you are getting angry in front of your son, right? But you are human.
I'm guilty of it, and when I do, because it affects them,
Yeah,
and me and my wife argue, and
yeah,
we've had our share of arguments, and
yeah.
you know sometimes it gets intense,
Mhm.
and he'll see that there was a time where he was telling both of us stop arguing, stop yelling,
Yeah.
and the argument, I guess we were so caught up in, like, I wanted to get out what I wanted to say, and she wanted to get out what she wanted to say. But man, that one argument, just it really changed the path.
Mhm.
It redirected, the way that I need to behave.
Mhm.
Because I tell him, man, I love you every day, hug him every day,
Yeah.
and I've gotten to the point to where I don't sugarcoat too many things with him.
Mhm.
I try to be as blunt as possible because if I don't tell them, I don't want somebody else telling them their version.
Nope.
I mean,
Nope.
he's like a sponge. I've told him, be a sponge, man. Soak things up. Pay attention when you out in public.
Oh yeah.
Peep your surroundings. Like, these are things. These are survival tactics.
Mhm.
My wife used to always ask me, why you always looking around when we go somewhere? Because I need to know where the exits are, who's where, who look questionable. Like, that's necessary. Because if something happened, I don't want to be running around in a circle.
Right.
I'm gonna get you where it's safe.
Mhm. Yep.
But it's a job and a duty that every man isn't built for. And the ones that I come across, hey man, why don't you do this with your son? You know what you missing? Like, uh uh a lot of these young boys are looking for somebody to admire that'll give them a little bit of attention.
Wow.
And they think that, these these athletes that they see on TV and want to emulate are the ones that they should pay attention to.
And they're wrong.
Exactly that's why they follow them on Instagram and Twitter, watch Sports Center or whatever, and try to be just like them. But man, there's so many dudes out here that's, you know, chasing the wrong things or too much of it
Mhm.
when they could be contributing to, the future.
Right. I'm, I agree with you, 100%. And then those same kids that are trying to emulate and obsessing over these athletes or whatever, and they get the opportunity to meet them, and they get heartbroken because they see,
Exactly, exactly.
you know.
Because they sitting up chasing after the attention of
Mhm.
somebody that don't even care.
Nope. Not at all.
And I mean, that's one thing that my son will never have to wonder, is whether or not I care.
Yeah.
He asked me, "Can you come to the school and I'm gonna be doing this? I'm getting an award for this." Okay,
Yep.
let me take the day out,
Yep.
and I'm there.
Gosh, I love that. I love your story, even though it was a horrible story, for having to experience that. But it's everything, like everything you're able to take away from it is, it's amazing.
Yeah,
It's truly, just such a huge testimony that I feel like you should be sharing. Like, you know, like I don't feel like anybody's gonna look. Well, first, before I make this statement, do you feel like the reason for you not deciding to share your story before was because people would sit in judgment of you?
it was that was a part of it.
Hmm.
Um, I feel like um, my story really don't matter. Is one amongst millions.
Wrong.
And I mean that was how I thought about it. I mean, because I feel like there would be some people that would look at me differently because of how I felt towards this man. Like there's a level of disgust that
Mm-hmm.
has been within me regarding him for years.
Yeah.
I mean, when when people say uh forgive but don't forget, like nah. I ain't doing either one.
Really?
I don't have to. I don't have to forgive him, and I don't have to forget it.
Wow.
I mean, I feel like that's a manipulative statement for the person that did it to get you to forgive them
Well, I
and
think
forget about it.
I think I think that for anybody who's saying that you need to forgive, but not forget, are more than likely coming from a biblical standpoint, you know,
Yeah.
um, and that's people's prerogative, people's rights. Although it is true, but you don't. A lot of a bigger part of it is that you don't want it to just eat away and eat away and eat away because you're holding on to it, because a lot of the times if you choose to not forgive somebody, right, it means it's taking up a very large presence in your life, because now you're not allowing yourself to forget about the situation, right, and we know that is horrible. So there are some things that you're gonna forever remember and maybe even have nightmares about, but without being able to forgive somebody for something, right? He didn't have to know that you've forgiven him, but it does give you a sense of peace, and you don't have to just hang on to it. Right? I mean, it's gonna allow you so much freedom.
But that's how I guess achieve my freedom is by if I'm not around him, I
Yeah.
ain't thinking about him.
Hmm.
I guess that's how I forget. But the whole matter of forgiving him for what he did and how things turned out, I don't see that happening.
Yeah.
I can say I can say it, but I know that within my head and
Your heart.
my heart,
Yeah.
it's still there.
Yeah.
It's not gonna go away.
Yeah.
So I mean, why would I why would I fake it for one?
Hmm.
I mean, I just chose to own it.
Yeah. You're like,
And
I
I
don't
mean
forgive
that's
you.
that's been, I guess, what fueled me. Because when I would be at track practice dying,
Yeah.
I mean, you gotta dig deep.
Hmm.
You gotta you gotta use some things that make you angry or just make you want to push hard. And that was one of the things. Sometimes
Mm-mm-mm.
it can be something that somebody said to you or somebody did to you.
Yeah.
I mean, where you draw your strength from, I mean, it's selective with everybody.
Sure.
And I just shoot. I just try to keep going every day. I try to keep a routine so where I'm not just doing nothing.
Hmm. Yeah.
That's where the drive comes in. Like right now, my son is upstairs kicking his ball around. That's what he does. He up there practicing on all these moves, and I mean, I tell him, hey man, the work that nobody sees is the work that matters.
Yeah. That's an understatement for sure. Understatement. Well, I mean, I think I think things will continue to progress for you, but of course, you have to want it, and then you don't want for somebody to force you into something that you're not comfortable with doing anyways. But if you pray, I don't know, but a good prayer about it would definitely kind of help you to move along through that if you feel like it's affecting you. And then if not, then it's, why worry with it? But do your sisters, like, do either one of them, like, do you, okay, do you guys, uh, I know you said you had a strained relationship because of, certain issues,
Mm.
but why, why, why that response? I didn't even ask my question.
I mean, I'm waiting for it because I'm trying to gauge where is this question gonna go.
Oh man.
It's been like back and forth with both of them.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be beefing with one and cool with the other one, and then it flip flops.
Yeah.
I
And I
mean,
mean,
it's probably been an occasion or two where I was beefing with both of them, and then there's been times where we was all good.
yeah.
But I mean,
But that's probably siblings anyways, I mean, just you don't want to get to the point to where you're cutting yourself off from everybody. But my question is, um through y'all's ups and downs, do either one of your sisters harbor any ill feelings towards your mom
no,
about? Okay.
no.
Okay.
I mean, I have one in DC and one in Houston,
Okay.
and my mom is like pretty much here in the city with me.
Oh, good.
But she goes to Houston a lot.
Okay.
Uh, she just came back from DC, but she's been doing a lot of traveling lately, and I want her to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I hate that she has to do it by herself, but I mean, don't just sit up in the house and go crazy and
Mm-hmm.
nothing.
Yeah.
But I know when, man, when you have a mother that just wants to move at their own schedule and you have your own schedule, that's when things get, hey, nah, mama, I gotta go to bed. Like, I'm tired. And she is, you in the bed already? Yeah, yes. You sleep? Yes.
Yes, I am.
I mean, she's a great mother. Um, I just wish I could have done more for her. I mean, I guess to protect her from what she went through. And if there are any, you know, sons, be it young or grown, teenage, stand up for your mama. Like, don't just let some bad stuff happen to her. Don't just let a random dude take advantage of her weakness or frailty and just beat on her. And don't be the dude that put your hands on women. Like, if you tell everybody that you put your hands on your woman or a woman, nobody will look at you the same.
Mm-hmm.
So keep that in mind when you get so mad because she said whatever to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they told us in elementary school, sticks and stones may break my bones,
Yes, sir.
but words will never hurt me.
Mm-hmm.
But some of us have become so soft when it comes to the things that people say, we don't know how to react.
Yeah.
And that's, hey, I tell my son, I'm teaching my son, hey, somebody say something to you, look them up and down and say something back.
Yeah.
Cause if somebody is trying to, make you feel less than, hey, give them a taste of their own medicine
Sure.
and don't hold back. Make them think twice about saying something slick,
Yeah.
but don't get to the point to where they words cut you so hard that you ready to swing. Now you gotta have
Yeah.
you gotta have more control than that.
Yeah. You're like, well, Tomas, I mean, I'm so happy that you were able to come on and tell your story. I have to say that it truly makes me sad that you are still at your now, your current age, and you still think about how you wish you could have been able to tell. And there's only so much you can do up against an adult male,
Yeah,
right? So I am going to pray for you that you don't continue holding on to that part of it because the reality just it might have been far worse, honestly, and then your mom's visiting your grave.
yeah.
So you have to kind of do your best to try to look at it from a little bit different standpoint. And I can't imagine that your mom's feeling any sadness about you not being able to protect her, because she was the adult. So you want to try to do your best, try and let go of that. And
But let me cut you off.
yeah.
When you say that, something could happen to me
Hmm.
for protecting her, that's something that I am willing to do. Like
Yeah.
even for my son and my wife, I'm willing to lay down my life to protect them.
Yeah.
You know, I don't I don't fear death that way.
Right.
I've had a gun to my face, you know,
Wow.
and I've always felt like, when it's your time, the Lord gonna decide that.
Oh yeah.
And
Absolutely.
it ain't gonna be no running from it. There'll be no negotiating it.
Right.
If it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
Yes.
And in my situation, when I faced that chamber, hey, it was life changing, and seeing the people that I've known through life lose their lives to the numerous things that they lost it to.
Mhm.
I mean, me choosing to, you know, protect my son and my wife, or my sisters and my mama, and my life being the price. I mean, it is what it is, you know. So I don't necessarily just. I don't want you to feel bad for me for, I guess, holding on to the way that I feel regarding that situation with my sister's dad. But that's the situation that molded me to the man that I am.
Yeah, and that's what it's about, isn't it?
So I appreciate the prayers, and I've
Of
been listening
course.
to the shows, and I like what you're doing. It's it's very good and informative. People need to, just listen to other people's stories and see how they relate. So
Wow. Well, I definitely appreciate that support, no doubt. And I I feel like I don't know. I feel like I want to keep like thanking you for just divulging everything that you have at this point. And I don't know, how easy it was for you to talk about that stuff, but I'm so glad that you did. I really am, and I hope that it helped you to feel a little bit relieved, and I know for sure that it's going to help a lot of other people out there, feel relieved and knowing that somebody else has experienced that too.
I mean, I hope so.
Oh,
I
for
hope it
sure.
turns on the light switch in somebody's head that's doing wrong or is afraid to make a move or
Mhm.
move for them. So
Mhm.
don't hesitate if you need to go. Get out of there.
Get out. Get out. We can always start over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, use those people that you know. Use your resources. Like,
Mhm.
there's people that's out there that'll definitely help. And you don't have to be one of those people that chooses to be sitting at the light begging for money.
Right. Oh my
Uh,
goodness.
so I don't want to see that for nobody.
Right. Absolutely. My goodness. Well, Tomas, was there any other advice you wanted to give, or anything you wanted to
Oh man.
add?
Um, I guess just, I mean, be mindful of your actions.
Hmm.
Um, don't think that nobody is paying attention.
Mm,
Because there's always somebody that sees but chooses not to say.
yes.
So if you can assist somebody in providing a better situation, then do that. Make a sacrifice and just try to help the people around you. It could be a stranger, it could be somebody you know. It don't even matter. But just try to make a difference in somebody's life if you can.
Well said, sir. Well said. Well, hey guys, this has been the Blind Impact. Today's guest has been Tomas for coming on. Would
You're
also
more
like to share a story. You are more than welcome to email me at the Blind Impact. Okay, Tomas, thank you so much again. Okay,
no problem.
okay, I'll talk to you soon.
All right, have a good one.
Okay, you too. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you all so much for listening to this episode of The Blind Impact. If you like the show, please rate, subscribe, review, follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Music. If you have a story you'd like to tell, please email me at theblindimpact@gmail.com. Or if you have a story you'd like to have read here by me, please include those details in the email or the voice message. Thank y'all, and remember, it's not always tragic.